but next one, all of these two sets that are coming in are promising to be hype as well. Beasty up against B. We're going to be starting off on Boldland here today.
We did not have a lot of open maps in the previous series. This time around, we're going to have a lot more. We have Coastal Cliffs, Boldland, Dry Arabia, Lipany, but also, to some extent, Four Lakes. It's certainly not the closed-out arena style that we've seen in the previous series. And here we are in probably one of the most iconic traditional matchups in the history of competitive AoE 4.
Ish, yeah.
I'm just looking at the statistics here.
Oh,
do you have a guess on how many times these two have played against each other? That's not fair. That's not fair. I was going to ask you.
I have a hunch as to how often they played against each other.
Okay.
When it comes to the results, though, I'm actually a little bit surprised. I guess they're... Oh my god, okay, never mind. My tournament played a crucial role in there as well. Okay. So yeah, serious count. I guess I can just say it because it's on the screen. 76.5% win rate there for Beasty. Win rate in the game's a little bit more even, 60.3% there for him. But yeah, I mean, this is a fairly strong win rate there for Beasty. But I gotta say, like, B, he's got his seasons, right? Like, he's got his on and off seasons when he really plays Age of Empires. Like, the dude's a multi-talent. The dude's playing so many RTS games all at the same time at a very high level, where it's like, one day you see him play an Age of Empires 4 tournament, the next day you see him play Zero Space, then a week later, suddenly he's competing at the top in Age of Mythology tournament as well. The dude does it all. He's stretched thinly, but at the moment, his performance in Age of Empires 4 has been absolutely top-notch, winning the last big LAN tournament that we had, the Homestead Cup in Serbia, so his performance at the moment is going to be... definitely is going to be top-notch, I believe. But we're jumping on in. Welcome, everybody, to the game number 1 in this set. We've got Beasty in the color yellow, playing as the French Civilization, up against 3DB, playing as the Shushi's Legacy.
A long-tenured matchup, as you said, and I guess the only addition that I can really, provide to this, you've given a really comprehensive review of the history of this series, is that B is one of the most awkward players to look at in many ways, because one day he just gets swept by someone. The other day he takes out some of the best players, and you really don't know which face of his you're going to see. But as you touched on this recently, he's been very, very efficient. Won the Homestead Cup. This time around he's going to be in the top 8, but how far he goes or how good of a starting position he's going to have in the playoffs will, to some extent, hinge on what he's going to do against Beasty over here. And same goes for Beasty. When it comes to Group B, this group is wide open, and many combinations of players could still unfold. And as we've discussed in the previous series, depending on how good of a position you get within your group, that determines how far you're going to get put into the playoff bracket. So if you win your group, you're automatically in the top 4.
That's right. So now in this matchup, I'm wondering, I haven't really seen this particular matchup since the rework on the landmarks for Shushi's Legacy. Typically, Shushi's Legacy in this matchup, like, both civs, they kind of want to go for pro scouting here, because deer are just super important, and both Shushi's Legacy and China, they kind of die in their farm transition most often. Like, farm transition is like the #1 moment in time that Shushi and China lose their games. So you need a lot of food, and deer are out on the map, and when your opponent has knights, being out on the map never feels good. So pro scout's just a logical conclusion that you can come to. French, recently we kind of see them not go for pro scouts more often than not, and rather just move out onto the map, take map control, and just, bite in the sour apple and just, sacrifice the walking time, the time that it takes to make outposts, extra mills and whatnot. But I think this is like one of the matchups we can probably still just go for pro scouting.
Yeah, I wonder how the mobility is going to factor into this game, though, because with Jushi, so many times we see those early compositions being built on the Jugenu and the Spearman, And on a wide open map like that, that could be a little too slow to catch up to Beasty's knights.
Yeah. Chainline Tower for B, School of Cavalry here for Beasty. There aren't actually that many villagers for Beasty on gold at the moment, so I'm wondering what exactly a play is going to be here for him. It does kind of feel like he's going for pro scouts, right? Like, it's only a little bit of gold that he needs to queue pro scouts up. Then the wood for it, and just villagers on food to be making scouts. Maybe he could go for one knight, but then I would have assumed that he would have more on gold than he currently does. Tough goal to make at the moment.
Yeah.
I would favor pro scouts, though.
Yeah, if nothing else, you can actually limit the amount of deer carcasses that B can steal.
So big point, but the spearmen are already out in the field here for B. It looks like we are going to be getting that first knight in the queue now. Some blacksmith, not blacksmith, but eco upgrades as well, so not gonna be
no pro scouts.
The pro scout. Yeah, it just goes for the eco upgrades immediately, but B, I think, most certainly is gonna be going for the pro scouts. Stable now getting prepped as well. Still 2 villagers on gold that he had the entire time. There's still plenty of taxes to be picked up. Gonna be pro scouts versus just pure aggression with some eco upgrades from Beasty. Question is, of course, whether these eco upgrades are gonna delay Beasty enough for B to be able to immediately be able to at least collect one of the deer packs early on.
First couple of spears moving over. They did spot the knight, thanks to that one scout from B, so he knows exactly which angle he's coming from. Looks like the spears will head straight towards that gold mine, though.
Immediately heading forward. Question is, does Beasty already have an archery range? No, he's going for a second stable instead. Okay, so this could be kind of tricky when the spearmen arrive now. As without an archery range, there's no immediate counter coming in here. Yeah, Beasty, he's gonna have to forfeit this position for the time being.
And without gold, you cannot really leverage that stable. He's going to have to pivot into a range. But those stables will be idle for some time here. 2 more knights in queue for Beasty, though. The knight does get staggered, and that's the first one going down here.
Crazy big value there very early on. Pro Scouts now coming in for B behind this. And with that early knight pick-off, he just bought himself a nice little window to be just collecting as many of these deer early on as possible. Double archer ranges now coming in, so Beasty wants to follow this one up with his own aggressive push now. But B definitely gonna be able to secure some deer here early on.
Yeah, Beasty's looking for targets with these knights. First archers are now on the way for him. B is very, very heavily reliant on the spears. It's the only unit that he has, other than the scouts, of course. Spears do take a bit of a fight over here. We'll secure the deer pack for him. Where are the other spears at, though? This is only 3 of them, and he's got 11.
Bottom. Yeah, they're going to the bottom side there. I guess that B is also expecting there to be pro scouts coming in from Beasty. Now gets the confirmation that that is not going to be the case. Looks like one of the scouts is going to get taken down. The spearmen, they got a little bit confused with the ring around the rosies there around the wood line in their pathing. So B ends up losing one of his scouts there early on. And Beasty once again just goes around the wood line and finds the scouts yet again. Yeah, I mean, these spearmen right now are just getting led around here over and over again.
And Knight's looking for additional targets, trying to block this pack of deer. So far, B wasn't able to ferry in many carcasses. 4 scouts on the field now, make it 5 actually. Knight's gotta be careful though. Beasty just buying time for those archers to arrive. He has yet to show those archers. The first ones are coming across the map as we speak, and B doesn't really have a response to those archers right now. His first horsemen are just now being added.
He's got enough spearmen in theory to fight against the archers for a little bit. And that's going to buy him time for his horsemen to arrive as well. As we can see, yeah, spearmen are plenty enough there in order to deal with the archers for the time being. Not the most ideal trades, but yeah, going to be good enough to force him back now. And there's already 5 horsemen out. We just got the first batch of units in from the Jiangnan Tower. And just so quick on the production here with that landmark. Once that batch comes in, it's just a lot of units very, very quickly.
We're up to 7 horsemen, 16 spearmen, and, you know, over and over again, we see that horseman spearman tends to beat knight and archer, especially if the knight count is not necessarily impressive. And that's part of the reason why, you know, Beasty's position might not be great here. He lost an initial knight, his production was stalled for a moment because of lack of gold, and now he could easily be surrounded here. Another knight goes down, horseman looking to body block and surround. Beasty losing a lot of expensive units here early on.
Yeah, a couple of scouts getting found out again, though. One does get taken down here. But Beasty, he's struggling when it comes to massing a similar-sized army here to what he has out on the field at the moment. There suddenly is a very, very large count of horsemen getting ready to intercept the archers, and Beasty, if he loses this archer ball, it is going to be so difficult for him to remass that quickly enough. And he does just that. He finds the archer ball and takes him on down. Beasty's got no more archers left at all.
Not a lot of knights left either. They're going to have to fall all the way back. Beasty's villagers could get caught in the crossfire over here on the berries. Spearman close the distance to that one knight, and Beasty just keeps losing all the knights. Has to pull the villagers away. And things are snowballing out of control so quick. Nice little surround. The villagers fall in the dozens. 3 villagers down here for Beasty. No one on food available for him. He's not even able to add any additional knights at this point because of the lack of food. And now the spearmen also find another knight here. Back to low HP, needs to be healed up.
Yeah, I mean, this is so tough at the moment for Beasty. He just has no food income at all. He's walking all the way over to the berries now. Villagers getting pulled in the center. But he's losing the archers again, potentially. He's just reinforcing with more spearmen, more horsemen. Actually, that's not true. He just pulled 9 villagers over to gold. He's thinking about an age up soon, which he can do. He's got the deer.
Yeah, and he's got a massive army momentum as well. Looks like Beasty is going to send the knights over for a raid. B lost track of them for a moment, and this could be Beasty's ticket back into the game. Nice reaction by B to pull off the villagers from the gold. No kills to be found there.
Yeah. Knight's still healing up with chivalry though, so at least something that's going on there for Beasty. Some positives. But this is just so rough. He's trying to go for a raid on the woodline, but the villager's already getting pulled away there from B, and there's just so many units that B can easily afford to have multiple clumps of units at multiple sides. Knight's picking off the spearmen as well as the horsemen here, most likely, yes, but there's just such a big mass of horsemen that if they get the collapse on the army here from Beasty, not sure if he would be able to win that. Yeah, he's trying to surround him, trying to find an opening here for the spearmen. Looks like he's going to be able to find it as well. A lot of horsemen do actually go down.
Oh boy, that's going to be nasty. Multiple knights go down over here, and a lot of the knights are low HP. Horsemen being a little faster helps with the chase. Quite a few horsemen fell, but Beasty's knight mass is reduced to basically nothing.
Yeah, and a castle age follow-up behind this. It couldn't be worse now. Beasty losing the knights, so far behind in the economy, and now there's a Mount Lu Academy on the way. Double stable already prepped for B. This does not bode well for him, especially not once that next knight is also going to get taken down. Down to 4 knights now. Bonus attack speed also coming in with the upgrade here. And there it is. The age up comes in.
Lancers queued immediately. Beasty does have a couple of spearmen to deal with this initially. but it's not going to be sustainable in the long run. B still has the deer to work with. He's going to start moving out for the relics as well. Beasty needs to make something happen over here, at least find a way to slow things down, find a way to create a distraction until he stabilizes. He is up to 6 knights. Does have a couple of spears to deal with the initial lancers as well, so he might be able to stall for just a brief moment. Tries to push the gold mine. He's gonna have to pull away some villagers, jumps into the tower in the last moment. Beasty unable to get a villager kill.
Now the spearmen are all vetted up as well, so the second the knights connect, they do get absolutely obliterated. Archers trying their best to focus down the spearmen, actually doing a very good job here of that. Currently still able to one-shot them. But front line has been exhausted now for Beasty. Just a couple of knights remaining, but they're not going to be a match for the Lancers.
Yeah, no spearmen nearby for Beasty either. This is just archers caught in the middle of nowhere. Lancers slowly chipping away at that. It's just going to make it even more efficient for B. A couple more knights join the fun, but it's 8 Lancers already for B. Facing off against just 2 knights from Beasty. When the next wave comes in, Beasty just doesn't have the tools to stand and fight against this one.
And now he's also no longer got the option to one-shot the spearmen, as the critical mass of archers has fallen now. The spearmen come to defend. Frontline just isn't there anymore to hold what's coming over from B's side.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 11 Lancers against just 1. Spearman actually closing the distance. B is no longer concerned about the Spearman actually being picked off here by the archers. He's diving deep towards the gold mine. Beasty's gonna have to pull away the villagers from the gold, and that's the final straw. B securing game number 1 over here in this best of 5.
Yeah, GG comes on in, and man, just the Shushi economy behind the deer as well. There was this one moment where Beasty, he just moved out a little bit too early with the archers, didn't have his knights in position, didn't have enough of them there in order to deter up against the horsemen. And that was all the horsemen needed in order to completely wipe out Beasty's backline. This is very similar to English, back when English played aggressively. If you get wiped once, it just takes so long to remass where you've been before, and you just fall further and further behind. Next up, he just played Shushi. He's getting the Chinese civilization number 2 in here now, with the Chinese themselves, up against the Mongols from BC. And we did talk about Mongols before our first set here of the day. Mongols, the civilization with the highest win rate so far in this tournament, something like 83-ish%, I think it was. And yeah, all of the games that they've won so far were on hybrid maps. So statistically speaking, this is looking better for Beasty.
It's an interesting civilization choice for him. Obviously, he accompanied this with the Knights Templar, but historically, first off, Beasty is historically really good on 4 legs. He's probably the best 4 legs player out there of all players. He loves this map, and he's been very successful on it for years. But usually he plays this in a very slow and defensive fashion. And I'm curious how that's going to line up with the Mongols, especially because he's not going to have the tools to wall off sections of the map, something that he actually loves to do when he plays 4 legs.
Yeah. Can't really do that here with the Mongols, indeed. And again, like, Mongols, they got a lot of other good things going for them. Of course, like the mobility that you get with the Yam Aura movement speed buff just means that as long as you have the military, you might not necessarily need the walls, just because you can catch up to anything that your opponent sends your way. And of course, you get some additional tempo from the passive stone gathering early on, as you can get like double Keshiks out immediately. Like, chances are you're not going to use the stone immediately for emplacement, so it's just going to accrue over time. And once you hit that feudal age, you can immediately start just queuing up double Keshiks and, you know, just run around on the map. Kind of like do similar things that an English king could, just with 2 Keshiks, of course, meaning that you can very quickly start picking off those villagers on the map.
Yeah. In the meantime, B still has a chance to actually win his group. It's fairly simple math. he's gonna need a 3-0 win here if he wants to win this group, but if he does so, he would actually take over both Beasty and Lucifron. All of them would be at a 7-game differential, but B won against Lucifron, and if B wins 3-0 here, he would also have the tiebreaker against Beasty. Anything less than that would mean that he would be behind at least one of these two players. Moral of the story, B still has a chance for winning the group, but he would need a 3-0 sweep here, something that would be very, very difficult to accomplish against Beasty. And in the meantime, of course, Beasty is looking to secure that position at the top of his group. We head into game number 2 on 4 lakes. Down south is Beasty with the Mongols in yellow, and to the north we do have B in the color green, playing as the Chinese.
Now we're jumping into this game number 2. This is always so rough, I feel like opening up with dogs here as the Chinese when it comes to deciding, like, are you going to be dropping that early lumber camp or not? Because now this is going to be like kind of a difficult game to play around the wood. We did have that early Imperial official. It's just water with the Chinese. It's really something that needs to be practiced. It's not like other civilizations where very easily you could end up with some idle time on your villagers, depending on how you play it. Khan immediately spotting out B's position there on the map. Sheep, of course, not so important, not since the change that we had on this map as well, where sheep, at least the immediate sheep, like spawn all around your TC. Interestingly, Beasty opting for an early barracks here. No dock on his side at all.
Ooh. I mean, that's always the dilemma of how you play 4 lakes. You either have a commitment towards your early dock, just like your opponent does, and you just both peacefully go up to feudal age, or one of the players is going to be an early aggressor, and with a civilization like Mongols, you can certainly do that. Early racks coming in, spears on the way. Beasty knows where the dock is at, but it's going to be quite a long walk to get there. It's all the way in the corner for B.
Spearman coming out. Wonder what B's gonna do to react to this, whether he's gonna make his own barracks, because that's certainly something that you could be doing. He's gathering some gold right now. There we go, early mill here now on his side, moves the sheep over. Get the supervision over there. It looks like he's just gonna try and gather up from taxes now. Drops the gold off at the mill because it didn't get finished up beforehand, so yeah. I'll drop off the taxes. Still a good amount of taxes that he's going to need to collect here.
Yeah, absolutely. And until he's up to feudal age, unless he commits to Iraqs, it's not like he's going to have any defense against those spearmen. He's actually going to send out the villagers to gold. He's completely ignoring them. Speaking of gold, though, I think this is a nice moment to touch on the fact that all 3 gold mines spawned on the same side for both of these players, if you take a look. Beasty's gold mine is actually going to be very, very far away from his town center because he moved the TC close to the wood line. But both players spawned with a cluster of 3 golds right next to one another.
It's going to be... I feel like this is going to be a little bit difficult now for BC. It looks like B is going to be getting his age up at a reasonable-ish time in. Fishing also undisturbed 2 fishing ships, so he's ahead on that department. BC is just now adding in his own fishing on his pond. At least not going to be too far behind there. Oh, B, he's missing 1 gold in order to be able to age up, so he's going to be collecting some of the taxes from the wood line now, I guess. There we go. Now has the gold to age up. Imperial Academy is going to be coming on in. Only... Okay, never mind. Pulls more villagers. I would have said only 1 villager. That is not something that he can really afford, because the dock is still going to be under attack at the moment, so he will want to get to work on that as soon as possible.
And that's quite a lot of spears out there for Beasty. I think he should be able to keep this dock in check. I don't think you can realistically pull a villager to repair, so Beasty's likely going to be able to take out this dock here and also get the bounty for doing so.
Oh, Scout is going to get picked off here. Flew a little bit too close to the sun.
Yeah, Galley is coming out over here. It's kind of a bait for the fishing boats. Villager has to be pulled over here. Galley's almost
he just wants
out.
to distract.
Yep,
that was
it's all
big.
about the distraction, but Beasty doesn't take the bait. Galley's out, but the dock is going to get taken out here. One of Spearmen goes down, tries to retaliate against the villager. The main goal was accomplished here by Beasty. Idle the villager, more importantly, took out the dock. Also forced the galley that, will not be able to do anything more right now.
I don't know about that. I think that the actual goal here was achieved by B, being that he wanted to get that fishing ship out. That way he can immediately put the dock back up, even if it does get burned down. So yeah, now he's able to get the dock back down, and means that he's going to have minimal idle time on his fishing ships. Beasty behind this, though, is going to be in feudal age soon as well, and he's got double the amount of fishing ships out at the moment that B has. Oh, could actually lose a villager here. Oh my god, okay, that is big value here for Beasty. And so another villager is going to have to be sent out now. That's the first villager kill of the game early on here. Thanks to Beasty's aggression early on. I was still in the Dark Age.
Ooh, and Beasty intercepts a villager on the left side as well. He was anticipating an extension of the second pond. Finds another villager. He's just now reaching feudal age himself, but he's done a really decent job in terms of at least slowing down B's expansion of the fishing eco.
A villager not gonna die. That's a close one though. Could potentially get sniped later down the line by the Khan. We're just now moving out for the dock over here. Khan still being annoying behind us, and now we see the double production on the Kashik coming in. I do believe at least that's going to be double produced. One villager is getting sent back just in case. Indeed, is going to be double produced Kashiks here coming on in. Currently only archers out on the field from B. Not sure if he even has the barracks yet. He just invests a lot of wood into the dock there as well, so might be that he's kind of running low on wood to immediately get the barracks on up. Yeah, doesn't have a barracks yet.
Yeah, that could be a concern. There is a villager out building the dock. First couple of Kashiks on the way for Beasty. Beasty does have 2 secure pawns that are totally untouched as of yet. Looks like B is not looking to challenge those pawns just now.
Yeah, and so at the moment, things are looking pretty good here for Beasty. He did some good damage early on, destroyed one of the docks, killed a villager. So he did a lot of damage there. Delayed B's water economy, and oh, that's going to be a second villager that's going to be going down. No way for that one to live, and oh, some of the archers might need to jump inside of the village as well. Now the first spearman.
A couple of villagers are low HP here as well. Isolates a spearman. Spearman does get taken out. Archers should be able to jump back inside. One of them falls. Spearman is still low in numbers, and Beasty, he knows that he can heal the Kashik back up, so he's fine just chipping away at some of the eco, or some of the army, I should say. Khan does go down, however, and that's a bit of a loss over here for Beasty. He's got 2 more Kashik on the way.
Khan will eventually come back, so not the end of the world there, but of course does mean that he's going to be lacking vision for the time being. More docks coming up now for B as well on this first pond. Wants to expand his fishing operation, as Beasty has already been doing as well. 14 to 8 fishing ships at the moment here, so the Mongols currently leading on the water economy. Not something that you want to typically see when you're playing as the Chinese.
More Keshik are coming in. Villager does get pulled away. Gala is trying to help out. One Keshik falls. Beastie still looking for the Vil. B, good job saving that villager inside the village itself. So far, Beastie was the aggressor all around, and really, as you said, the fact that Beastie is up by 6 fishing boats, and at the same time he's the aggressor, kind of pinning the opponent inside his base, that's not a good sign for the Chinese player. Looks like Beastie is flirting with the idea of Castle Age over here as well.
Yeah, he's got the food income for it, right? Could go for it. With the Coral Tie as well, currently his situation is looking pretty good. B's in a similar position though. Resource-wise, not too far behind at all. And in theory, B would be getting more from a Castle Age up compared to Beastie, as he would finally be able to unlock Lancers. Heavy Cavalry unit, of course, being something that Beastie already has access to with the Keshiks. He's also getting the... okay, both players at the same time getting the eco upgrade in on water. Pretty even between the two here, has to be said. Double outpost now coming in. Yeah, B, he wants the Castle Age up. I'm not sure if Beastie actually wants to go for his own Castle Age up behind this. He's still investing more. And yeah, there's the blacksmith now. This makes me believe that this isn't going to be a fast Castle Age. Instead, he's going to be going for the aggression now. He did just buy himself 100 stone in order to be able to go for double hand cannon emplacements. That is actually quite strong.
Yeah, he needs that gold mine protected.
Yeah.
Beastie's not going up to Castle Age just yet. He doesn't really have the gold. He's doubling down on things. Sees the walls coming up. He's seeing that his opponent is kind of turtling up at this point.
He's got more archers. He's got a lot of Keshiks. He is getting closer to the age up. The question is, of course, does he have anything left once that age up actually does come on through? Because there's a lot waiting for him here.
Yeah, it's 14 archers against 5. If you lose the archers, you're going to lose the spearmen here for B. He's going to have to fall back to these 2 defensive towers. Tries to take the position in the choke point. Villagers jumping into the towers, though.
Good
He's going
damage
to
on
have
the
to be
Keshiks.
careful. Keshiks still diving underneath. Spearmen are being focused down. Most of the spearmen are being taken out, but so are the Keshik. A lot of villagers idled out, but very few casualties on the villager department. The age up is ongoing, though. Beastie was looking for it, but he cannot get there in time. B is up to Castle Age. But he's up to Castle Age without any meaningful amounts of gold, so he cannot get any technologies or get any of the premium units out.
He is able to secure the gold, though. Some villagers here are going to have to make a run for it.
Boy.
Oh, this is bad.
That's terrible. Transport ship trying to make a run for it.
That is so clutch. Able to get the transport up in time. And now the only way back for Beastie is through the outpost, the minefield here, with the hand cannon placements. He did manage to kill a good amount of villagers. And actually, he's getting his own age up in behind this. Beastie not far behind at all.
Can we just talk about for a moment B adding that transport ship? Because that was not a transport ship he started making when he saw this disaster unfold. He was prepped for that. He was like, okay, I'm running north. I might need this. He chose to make it, and it came in clutch. Still ended up losing 7 villagers when it's all said and done. And Beastie, he already moved the deer stones up. He's going to do the same thing with the coral tie. He is just going to continue pouncing on this momentum.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, he isn't going for the mass Lancer play. Instead, he's choosing to go for... Never mind, he is adding in Lancers now. I want to say he is going to be going for the low gold cost units instead. But 1 Palace Guard, 1 Crossbowman is going to be all it's going to be, which is just a bait for me to talk about it. Because now, triple stables, it's going to be the Lancer spam neck.
Yeah, on the other side, Beastie continues to add Keshik and archers. No crossbows whatsoever out just yet. And, you know, this is where you're going to have to be careful with the Mongols. You do not have the ability to make walls. If your opponent starts spamming Lancers at you, you could easily start getting your eco overwhelmed. For now, Beastie is the aggressor, though. as B is also going to pivot into Song Dynasty with the Barbican. I don't know if this Barbican is going to go up. If Beasty is here at the right time, he might be able to stop this. Looks like he's going to go to the left instead.
Though. I feel like Beasty could also just transition into an Imperial Age follow-up now behind this if he really wanted to. He's got 20 villagers on gold. He's getting over 1,000 food per minute at the moment. But he is doubling down. We're seeing more Keshiks coming into queue. The thing here that's important is B, he's going to have to really worry about the Kurultai. Because with the Kurultai, the archers that are already vetted up with +2 damage coming in now, they're easily going to be able to take down the Lancers. There's just a lot more damage in combination with the Kurultai coming out against these Lancers. Like, they're already taking a lot of damage there. Oh, yeah. That's only going to get worse with the Kurultai. Song Dynasty has been finished up now. We're also seeing crossbows getting added into the mix for Beasty. Really just so much income for him at the moment. And B, he is trying to match up against it with just more and more knights. There's just such a big Keshik mass behind this as well. And once the Kurultai starts moving forward, which is now seemingly doing, these fights, as long as the Kurultai is deployed, are not going to be going in his favor.
Yeah, that's... Beasty has been planning for that for a while. He actually got the tech to move the buildings faster a lot sooner than right now. Having said that, his army is not up there just yet, and the Deerstones has to be replaced. Might not be able to unpack here. Kurultai rolling up as well. Kurultai might get body blocked, and indeed it does. Beasty should be able to get it up now, however. So he's gonna have the Deerstones and the Kurultai buff right in front of the enemy base. Name a better combination than that.
Yeah, next up, we are going to be seeing a Springle emplacement coming in on the Barbican. Wants to stack a couple of the emplacements here. Gate is going to be coming in. Will not get finished, though. Gets cancelled instead.
He's trying to break through the walls. Landmarks cannot deploy right now. A couple of Palace Guards just making a run around, but they're not going to survive very long here against this onslaught. Deerstone's deploying, so is the Kurultai. Beasty does have 15 Keshik against 12 Lancers. He is queuing a lot of horsemen now.
Yeah, I mean, once the Lancers are going to be down, the only thing remaining is going to be those hand cannoneers. And realistically, actually, like, he can just... He can go to Imperial Age if he wanted to. Like, really just cement the lead that he has, but looks like he believes that maybe he doesn't have as much of a lead. He is still doubling down. He's at almost 40 villagers on gold here. That's a lot of villagers on gold.
Yeah, that's a clear sign he wants to go up. He's floating food, sends 40 villagers on gold, and he's got all the momentum. I think he's happy if B comes out of his base right now, because he has the Kurultai buff and he's got the Deerstones buffed as well, but this is huge! And I talked about this before, the lack of walls means that if you lose track of those Lancers, you could be in for a nasty surprise as the Mongols. Beasty losing 10 villagers in an instant over here, and this is exactly the thing that B needed to get back in this game. But here comes Beasty, has a chance to retaliate against all these villagers. He kind of has to retaliate now because he's down 18 eco.
And now the fight is going to be taken here. Barbican as a line of defense. Villagers are going to be getting pulled back. Crossbows need to also pull back as they've been getting focused down by the archers. Archers no longer in range of the Kurultai. And the Lancers from the back line able to wipe out the rams now. And the Kurultai is just getting blocked from being deployed.
Where are the crossbows at? Beasty's got 15 crossbows. None of them are on this screen right now. And this is turning out to be a disaster for Beasty. The archers are getting cleaned up. The crossbows are lagging behind. The landmark wasn't deployed. He just lost 12 villagers.
How?
Wow.
That looked all but over before that fight got taken, but we're in a similar situation to, I want to say, the game between Anaton and Vortex with the Golden Horn Tower.
Gotta be careful though. That's a lot of heavily damaged Lancers over here for B, but he feels confident. He's cleaning up all these crossbows. There is more behind this though. I don't think B can stand and fight. I don't think he can justify losing all these Lancers here. Indeed, with the new crossbows and the Keshik coming in, Beasty swings this back. Beasty's down 15 eco now, and I feel like the option to go into Imperial is not really there anymore. He kind of needs to make something happen to offset the eco difference.
Yeah, can we take a quick look at the relic count? Beasty was the first one in this game to start collecting relics, and it is going to be a 4-to-1 relic game. That is one way for him to potentially come back. He is starting to put out some monks now to try and heal up the damaged units that he had there. There's still a lot of value in the form of those lances that can be healed back up. Beasty is reinvesting heavily into his army mass as well now. Yeah, this is still everything on the table here in this one between the two. He, of course, has a lot more economy on the fishing there. Did invest into 10 more fishing ships. Now both
B
players
also
trying to go
has
for some
Song
raids.
Dynasty, so that's going to be a big contributor here. Beastie looking for villagers to kill. Lancers will match that.
Some very low health lances though. Those are the low HP lances from earlier. Crossbows coming in to support. Lots of villagers on the stone there. They are gonna get spotted out.
This is what Beastie needed. The same way he lost his own villagers on the gold, now the villagers have to make a run for it on stone, but he barely gets a kill or two. B still retains the eco lead, at least the worker lead, I should say. Relics offsetting some of that differential. One answer coming in here from B, though. Beastie not reacting just yet. First villager falls. Second one might not. He's making a run for... Oh no! He misclicked it! He must have misclicked that. And now the Lancers are coming in on the other side as well. B is starting to just absolutely shatter Beastie's eco.
At the same time, crossbows kind of being left alone here. Lancers are going to be coming on back. He does realize the raid on the gold vein now. Yeah, just a very chaotic game as both players trying to raid on the flanks.
If only you could build walls, right?
Yeah, neither of them yet going for an Imperial Age. I mean, BC does have the outpost, right? So he always knows when and where he is going to be hitting. But he needs to constantly make units to be able to react to these aggression points on the sides. He does have a good mass of units out here now at the moment. I think this is a fight that he can take when all of his units are here.
Yeah, he needs his units here, though. He's constantly repositioning his landmarks as well. The Korotai is now coming in. Needs this large gold vein to work with. Crossbow count is looking better for Beastie, though. In general, the army count is considerably more promising. B's numbers are somewhat inflated by the fact that he's got 2 galleys taking up population space.
Yeah, Spearman upgrade now also coming in for B. He already has 17 spears out on the field. There currently aren't that many archers left for Beastie, so he doesn't have that many of the direct counter unit out. And now a keep getting put up by B on the large gold vein. That is going to be very, very important here now for B, as gold is starting to run low inside or in the proximity of his base.
Dangerous move over here for B. He's moving out for large gold vein. He got spotted by Beastie, but Beastie is not in a position to challenge that. So he's going to be able to secure that large gold vein. Instead, Beastie is looking for the base here. Fossil's going to go up.
Beastie is going to go
Beastie's
for the
going
dive into
straight
B's
for the
base.
base.
Yeah, he is not falling back, but there was an outpost over on B's side, so he did see this coming. Gives him the time and opportunity to fall back.
Oh, the Barbican is heavily damaged here. He can take this out
been repaired,
in a blink of an eye. Gonna take out the Barbican. He does have the Korotai here as well. B doesn't really care about this. He's actually sending a bunch of forces towards Beastie's base. You can see that big green blob of units heading towards Beastie. Beastie has to make a run for it inside his own base.
Oh, has some units there to defend, though. Lancers
but
are
not
finding
enough.
the villagers in gold.
Is the returning issue here, you feel? Just a couple of walls that B has back at home makes it so much more difficult for Beastie to jump the villagers. Whereas B keeps getting opportunities for sniping villagers here. Beastie needs to be careful with this force. Korotai is not deployed.
I don't want to hear this Mongol
Run away
propaganda
from
there.
this one.
No walls for the Mongols. That's how it has to be. Korotai now going to get deployed. There it is. Beastie is finally starting to re-add in the archers. Now there's 40 spearmen out on the field from B. An absurd amount that just spawns so quickly. So now, once Beastie starts remassing the archers, should be in a good spot once again to take these fights. But I think B, this should now start to be the point in the game, surely, where he starts thinking about the Imperial Age and the, you know, the good times where you have those Chinese hand cannoneers coming in as well.
Beastie's down by 20 eco, armies looking fairly even. Both players do have one large gold vein to work with right now, but Beastie does have the majority of the relics, so once you start running out of that mineable gold, it actually becomes a factor. For now, Beastie's just leveraging that for passive resource income, and partially because of that passive resource income, the resource influx is actually somewhat comparable between the two players. The eco difference is not as big as the villager differential indicates.
Shigrade coming in once again. There are some small eco hubs in the base for B where he's getting additional food on from. So he's not just reliant on the fishing ships, but also has some farms as well. And now army is getting split up by B. Some are being sent back to defend, some are still going to continue running inside of Beastie's base.
It's chaos. It's just chaos all over, and Beastie timed this right. He's hitting the enemy base just when B was about to age up, and is this going to be a Great Wall Gatehouse somewhere mid-map? Beastie does not have mid-map presence right now because the Kesha guard in the enemy base. Yeah, there we go. It's only going to be on the large gold vein.
Protects the gold, protects the stone, and also the large stone vein there as well. Stone outcropping. There it is, Great Wall Gatehouse coming on up now. Oh, it does get spotted out though.
Oh, yikes. It's still a Chinese keep out there, but that's that Great Wall Gatehouse is nowhere near complete, and Beastie is going to find a lot of villagers here. This is the perfect timing for him.
So
he's gonna get cleaned up, but that's gonna be at least. Oh wow!
He cancels it.
He just canceled it
and it's gonna be
replaced it with the Spirit Way.
That's interesting. Spirit Way, okay. The Spirit Way houses some unique upgrades, and you do, of course, benefit from unique units dying. They're like, whenever a unique unit dies, it gives an aura that increases the attack speed on units and also heals them up a little bit. Issue with that is there are no unique units out at the moment for Beastie, for B. And now fight is being taken. There's still a lot of crossbows and spearmen here, but now Beastie has added in a big archer ball. This is not a fight that B can win.
Yeah, and look at Beastie. He's going to be very much chasing him up to Imperial as well. Beastie's looking to take a fight before the upgrades come in for B. B's got no upgrades on the way because he's got no gold, he's got no resources. Goroltai trying to deploy. It's actually going to get body blocked by a villager, though. Villager does get picked off. Goroltai does deploy. Beastie slowly falling back over here, but the front line for B is very much gone, and with the Goroltai buff, it looks like Beastie is going to be able to make a stand. Beastie himself on the way up to Imperial with the Kaganet Palace.
Yeah. The post is getting fortified here at the front line without any front line from Beastie, means that he is not going to be able to take that one down easily, and I mean, there's always something about like mental damage or mental fortifications. That outpost just being there with fortifications is going to be enough to force Beastie's entire army back for the time being. And now has gotten his own age up in with the Kaganet. And honestly, at the current point, in the current meta, with all of the recent changes that we had to the Mongols' Imperial Age landmarks, I actually prefer the White Stupa in this position in particular. The White Stupa halves the stone cost of your double-produced units while giving you infinite stone as well. And you can just produce a ton of hand cannoneers with all of that additional stone income.
First hand cannoneers on the way for Beastie.
Yeah.
This is still a Castle Age army from B, by the way. Those horsemen are certainly not elite. And crossbows are just now getting their elite upgrade. Same is the case for Beastie. Beastie's also getting elite horsemen, despite just having 4 horsemen on the field.
Horseman coming on in now. Also getting to the point soon where B could be going for a Yuan dynasty, as the resources for it. Isn't going to be able to make much use of pagodas, as he only has one relic, but could be getting fire lances in, and there it is. Astronomical clock tower is coming up next. And it's not just fire lances, but also the bonus movement speed on all of your units means that you can outmaneuver the Mongols, or rather you can keep up with them. You can keep up with their movement speed.
This is a very heavily fortified left flank over here for B. He does need this for the gold. I think those large gold veins are very much close to being depleted, especially the one that Beasty has. That has been being mined for quite some time. Ninth Barn's on the way for Beasty, though. Remember, he does have 4 relics as opposed to just 1 on the other side. Something that's going to make a big difference. And there is the clock tower for the Yuan dynasty. Bard's rolling up. Tower is also coming in here for Beasty to extend the Yam aura. He does have elite upgrades on a lot of his units, and hand cannoneers are slowly being trickled in. You just get the feeling that the army value is so much better over here for Beasty. A lot of his units are actually premium units, whereas on the other side, B's mostly horseman, spearman, crossbow.
Yeah. Mostly horsemen and crossbows indeed. The hand cannoneers are going to be able to do a great job here. Bombard's a little bit left out on the field. Thank now that some of the horsemen have to be revealed on the front side. Only just now we're going to be getting the elite upgrades on the horsemen. That is definitely long overdue, with just how many B has out there. Doesn't have any of the university upgrades in yet, though, as well. And just a couple of horsemen able to raid here from Beasty as well. So many villagers already went down this game. 54 have been killed by Beasty, 30 by B. Looking at the current army count, I wonder if the horsemen are going to be enough here, but it looks like this keep is going to get taken down. The curl tide just provides so much damage here. There's a single bombard out there from... Oh, look at that. Pulls the villagers onto body block.
These horsemen are not elite. The elite deck is just now coming in, but most of them will be dead by the time it happens. We did not have the gold to grab that upgrade in time. Still has a couple left. Beast is slowly falling back, but he does have the coral tide buffing up his army. And I don't know if this front line for B is going to hold.
Yeah, it looks like it's going down steadily. The crossbows are trying their best here as well. Horsemen look to be going down behind this, though. And B, he is going to have to fall back. 2 bombards on his own side. Did manage to trade out evenly against Beasty's army, but did lose his keep. So doesn't have as much of a defense to fall back to now on that side. Cashers, that's food economy currently for Beasty. Now also getting in some Ruse Knights from the Kagana. Definitely nice to have as a frontline, especially at this point in time. More outposts coming up as well. See that now we'll be looking at a Sacred Side victory condition here, as Beasty has another monk in the queue, or shaman rather.
Beasty had 2 Sacred Sites for a while mid-game, but then one of them got decapped, so... that never became a win condition. Bombard's caught off guard a little over here, but archers should be able to save it.
He's
that
got no
Stonewall combined with the Stealth Forest is a bit of an obstacle for Beasty over here.
At the same time, though, Beasty has a lot more archers here than B does, so he's actually going to be able to fire over the Stonewall. But yeah, some raids coming on in, but B, he's in a precarious spot at the moment. No gold income for him at all. Some horsemen also raiding the gold here from Beasty.
A big fight unfolding towards B's base, though. Landmarks are getting taken out over here, and look at how aggressive Beasty is. He's rolling up the coral tie. Once again gets body blocked. Beast sending the villagers to take it out, but that could be a big danger zone. Beasty not focusing the villagers just yet. Coral tie being pulled back, but he's closing distance. He's gonna kill so many of these villagers, and it's not like B can spare all the vills. They go in the middle of the battlefield. Boy, things are falling apart for B here, but look at that. Beasty running into a bunch of horsemen with his own vills. It doesn't matter, though. The army gone for B, and so are the hopes of securing this game. Game number 2 falls into the hands of Beasty.
And the Mongols get another victory in on a hybrid map, and yeah, up against the Chinese here. Mongols really showing where it's at. A nice game here for Beasty, and definitely a much-needed victory here after the first game, which, you know, can be very demoralizing, because in the first game, truly everything that could have gone wrong for him did go wrong. But here in the second game, with a beautiful opening, just straight up aggression up against B, and always playing as the tempo setter throughout the entire game. Nicely played here. Already see what's coming up next. It's going to be on Lipany, where we'll be seeing the House of Lancaster for B against the Macedonians for Beasty.
Now that's interesting. You do have Beasty went for the Golden Horde and the Macedonians, and B decided to take away the Golden Horde, leave Macedonians for Beasty.
Yeah, Byzantines getting sniped, Golden Horde getting sniped. It's going to be House of Lancaster up against the Macedonians, so it's going to be an interesting one. I'm not sure if House of Lancaster can go for 2TC up against Macedonians, just because Macedonians, like, their fast castle timing is quite nice, and if you leave enough control over the map to them, they can put the Golden Horde Tower in a very, very nice position on the map, secure something like a boar, deer, just overall a ton of resources, which can snowball quicker than a second TC can from the Lords of Lancaster, from the House of Lancaster. Seeing those replays again here at the moment. The last moments from that game between the Mongols and the Chinese, but it's gonna be an interesting one. I mean, Macedonians, they did already win a game here today. House of Lancaster, not so much. I wonder if B is very... Okay, I'm just gonna say it. B and Anatant, they have a lot of overlap when it comes to their strategies every now and then. I wouldn't be too surprised if we also see a 2TC manor build coming in here from B, similar to what we've seen from Anatant earlier.
It would make a lot of sense. Again, Lipany is a classic 2TC map, but I just don't know if you can justify doing that against the Macedonians.
Yeah.
Can you?
In theory, you can, right? Like, Macedonians, they don't typically play aggro all that much. They make some horsemen early on. They try to go for raids, but they're not like a full-on mixed army composition aggro type civ that we typically see. Get a quick look here at the moment at our current civilization stats with the overview, where we can see that Macedonians so far, 41% win rate, China, 40% win rate, please buff. And the House of Lancaster at the moment just doing slightly better with a 46% win rate. All civilizations so far that are sub 50% win rate in the tournament. But the one thing that, like, sets them apart, this is kind of interesting when you see, like, all of these red 0 numbers on the bans on the civilizations with negative win rates, but then there's Macedonian and Chinese both with negative win rates, but very high bans.
Yeah, that's... You know, one of the things that we need to highlight here is that you have a lot of games in the group stage, and some of those games are inherently between somewhat mismatched players skill-wise. It's just going to be how the round robin goes. When you have seed number 1 playing against seed number 8, for example, even if seed number 8 has the Macedonians, it might end up losing. And you would argue that in a closely matched series, these frequently banned civilizations do not make an appearance, whereas in a somewhat more mismatched series, you might still have those slip through. But we head into game number 3 here. Beasty and B tied at 1 as we head to Lipany. Spawning in the northern eastern side of the map is B with the color green as the House of Lancaster, and down to the southwest, it's Beasty with the Macedonian dynasty in yellow.
And here we go, Engine Warcam coming up straight away. Just a fancy house, except later down the line, it also has the ability to spawn units. Every unit that you lose ends up counting towards the next batch of units getting spawned from it. B with the House of Lancaster, already a little difference here. Oh my god, okay. It's returned. The efficiency mining camp. And B, he's gotten it.
I love it. I love it.
Beautiful. Getting some confetti in to celebrate as well. Yeah, that is a very, very efficient mining camp. So efficient even that B wants to start gathering from it straight away. Okay, never mind. He's going back to the gold. But yeah, this is a very nice spawn for him. I was wondering whether or not he was going to be going for Dark Age barracks. But then you just see this mining camp, you're like, yeah, okay, I also wouldn't. This is just too beautiful.
Yeah, you just gotta go for it. In the meantime, Beasty is gonna head out to the hunt, not anticipating any aggression, so he's just gonna leverage that hunt for himself. So if it's 2 TCs, I think there is a pretty clear-cut position where B can play this. It's probably to that deer pack to the north. Is there any alternatives for him, really?
Deer pack to the north, deer pack to the south. I guess you probably want to go for the deer pack to the south because there's also berries next to it. Both positions are really bad, but one has a bigger payoff.
Interesting. Yeah, I just feel like the one that's offset to the north is somewhat exposed, but maybe a little further away from Beasty, whereas putting it right on the berries and the hunt, right in front of a stealth forest, that might be a little dangerous.
Yeah. Getting the Abbey of the Kings in here now behind all of this. B also splitting the villagers between wood and stone. Still not 100% clear whether or not this is going to be 2 TC or just 1 manor type gameplay. Because he's only sent 3 out to stone. If it was 4 out to stone, I would say TC. If it's 3 out to stone, I'm saying I'm not sure. Then again, TC cost has been reduced, but is that going to be enough? Like, this is going to be quite close here. There's roughly, let's say like 4 more drop-offs in. I think he's going to be building, yeah, he's going to be building a TC, but it's not going to be immediate from the timing. I don't think time, okay, never mind. He's sending another villager out to stone now. Okay, he's playing with me. Got the drone coming up. 5 villagers working on that one for Beasty. So does want to rush it up quite quickly now. B did slow down his own age up on the Abbey of Kings. And Beasty, he's back on the deer. His scout didn't get sniped out earlier, so now he's using that time to once again be a little bit annoying to the deer. Okay, that one deer has a little bit of a left and right directional weakness. He was running in the wrong direction compared to where the scout was chasing him from. There we go. Age up has come on in. And okay, never mind. B's just going to be going for the second TC over here. Also makes sense because you gotta position the manor in a way that it can, like, actually reach your villagers. And if you go for the TC all the way forward, you're only going to be realistically getting the influence from half of your villagers.
First horseman on the way here for Beasty. Let's see. Is there anything? There is a lord on the other side. For the time being, horseman comes along. Second TC is very, very much to the back here. It's not going to secure any additional food here for B.
Yeah. No additional food, but it's in a nice spot at least to be able to keep all the villagers in the range of the first manor once that one is going to be coming up. Beasty behind this, he is still investing quite heavily in the horsemen. 2 more horsemen in queue. And he's still got a lot of villagers on wood. A lot of villagers on wood tell me that next up should be a Varangian stronghold. And then we could even see some archers, like a horseman archer type army composition from him.
Beasty has been playing.
Strongholds coming in.
Beasty played very aggro in all of the games that we've seen so far. It's just that in game number 1, his knights got butchered by spears.
Yeah.
But it would be fitting to see him just trying to go pedal to the metal and play very aggressive. And to be fair, with that DC being up to the front, he might actually be able to justify that.
Yeah, the thing is, B, or rather Beasty, he did say before, a couple of times actually, that up against B, what he needs to do is just play it very aggressively, because B can play kind of weird. So as long as Beasty plays aggressively, he feels that he can hold up against that. Interestingly enough, B, he's actually not going at all for any military at all. He just wants the fast castle age up. 11 villagers on the stone, on the gold here at the moment.
Yeah, Beasty
He's
sees
just rushing
this.
the age up.
Yeah, Beasty should know what's up. He sees the gold miners. It's going to be difficult to challenge this, however. There's the Lord here. There's a DC as well, firing away. He is going to be able to slow down B here a tiny bit just by idling out the villagers.
Yeah, Beasty is now also adding in ranging guards and sending 2 villagers out to get an outpost going. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Hippodrome Horseman has also now come on out. B is not making any more Lords of Lancaster here. There's the villagers. Outpost is going to be coming on up. But it feels like, I mean, realistically, B could just pull villagers here to try and snipe the the villagers.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's trying to do here.
That's a lot of idle time, though.
Horseman trying to pick off vills. Not a single villager has been killed so far, however. First horseman goes down for Beasty. First villager as well on the other side. Not enough space for the villagers to garrison inside, but they do get healed up. A second vill goes down. Beasty does take a bit of a beating, but he's able to get away with most of his
That is
units.
so much idle time. Absolutely insane levels of idle time. He's pulling the vills again. Oh, he's dead. He's wasting so much time here. That's just so much idle time going on. He already
exactly
has
what
the
he
plus
needs
1
to
pierce
do.
armor.
And that's literally the entire eco that B has, fighting enemy units. He's got 3 villagers on food, and that's it. Every
Yeah.
other villager is either garrisoned or fighting, and that is just perfect for Beasty. The amount of idle time that he's forcing out is just crazy.
It is absolutely insane. We're only just now seeing Spearmen coming in, but he actually doesn't have any wood income at the moment as well, so he's not going to be able to afford too many Spearmen here. Another Lord of Lancaster is coming in. I'm not sure if the outpost went up. It did actually went up, and B is trying to torch it down now.
This is getting very desperate for B here. He might be able to take this out, but even if he does, what's going to be the cost that he needs to pay? Arrows that's coming in here for Beasty. Look at this. Every single villager in B's economy is out there to torch down the tower.
That is...
When it's all said and done, it's 5 villagers having fallen from B. Beasty lost 2 villagers in the process, though. So really, I think this is
but
more of a
idle
storyline
time.
of the idle time.
Yeah, exactly. The idle time was absolutely unreal in this one. Absolutely unreal. And the thing is, when you're up against the Macedonians in an extended feudal age, Varangians are going to end up becoming a problem. 100%. The Varangian Guard, if you... Hey, BC doesn't have any armor upgrades on them yet. But if we get to that point, it's going to be quite difficult for B. But yeah, this is just a very chaotic point in the game now. B somehow still... Can we quickly select one of the villagers here from B? Please tell me he had textiles. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he does.
Because, like, it was very surreal just how much those villagers were able to survive the entire time. But it's crazy that we're seeing, like, effective working... Oh, my God. Yeah, he really wants that. He really wants that outpost, doesn't he?
He kind of needs
the
that
villagers
because
getting pulled again.
B has the villager advantage here, so those need to be continuously idled out. B pulls the villagers, though he's going to try to fight this off, and Beasty, he is getting pushed away from here by the English villagers. A couple of vills fall as well, and those short bows are now coming in clutch. B, the idle time is crazy, but he is continuously repelling Beasty's attacks.
We're getting a forward stronghold now as well. This is such a wild game. I don't know what to say. Such a messy and chaotic game, but I love it. I really do. The question is just what he's doing now. Like, what's his plan behind this? He's gathering so much gold. Is he trying to, like, use a market in order to buy the age up now, or...
I don't know. I think he's just trying to survive right now. He's got a bunch of lords, a couple of spears as well, but the villagers just firing away from the back line with the short bows, and somehow, some way, it's actually working. He's taking out this tower now. Could actually... Is he going to target the stronghold? No, he's not thinking about it. He's going to fall back. That feels a little too much. Beasty's got archers coming in now, however, and... Okay, here we go. White tower coming in here for B. He could lose a couple of villagers building this, but it should go up just based on the things that we've seen so far.
He's just once again sniping. He somehow still has like a pretty big villager lead.
It's the 2 TCs.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, he is kind of ignoring a Hippodrome Radari, though. That is slaying his villagers.
Yeah, the White Tower is only being built by 9 villagers. I mean, this could slip very, very quickly. The Stronghold is shooting at the vills. The Radari is dishing out punishment, and this landmark is gonna go up, but the cost to pay is now huge.
Okay, he does not want this stronghold over here. He wants the food that's right there, and he's got to get it.
I mean, I understand that you're hungry, and sometimes when you're hungry, you do crazy things, but this feels very crazy.
It does. It most certainly does. Okay, we're being treated right now to one of the most chaotic and messy games in Age of Empires 4 history. And it's great.
So, when it's all said and done, it's a 9-villager lead for B. He had a ton of idle time on his eco, but does manage to secure that little ground for himself. Beasty getting close to Castle Age, though.
I've never seen such a low effective worker time count, Lidicor.
Yeah, every single time I see that metric, it just feels so useless because it's 99.4 versus 99.7. So when it drops to the 90s, that's like a quite unique occurrence.
Yeah. Earl Scott being a little bit quicker than normal men-at-arms, so able to keep up with the archers, but there's one Hippodrome horseman there, able to dish out some good amount of damage here. Earl Scott's not really fighting back there at the moment. They're trying to find some kills on the economy from Beasty instead. Beasty pulling the villagers a little bit early here. Wants to make sure that he doesn't lose any of them early on.
He went for the berries, but Beasty was mostly on the hunt, and now he's moving towards the boar. Lovely, lovely spot for the Golden Horn Tower. It's going to secure the boar and the large gold vein as well.
Yeah. So 2 very big resource deposits, so to say, being captured up. And once again, Lil Raid comes in, the horseman, finding some damage.
B does have a 12 eco lead, and that's going to continue scaling, given that he's got 2 TCs. Beasty, on the other hand, has so much more map control, and because of that, he can leverage the board, the large gold vein. B is just so confined into his own base.
Yeah. Now Boar is going to get taken down. Oh, we don't have the Golden Horn Tower, actually. Oh, never mind, it does. It does help out with the Boar. Make sure that none of the villagers die. One did get reduced down fairly low in health, but it's alright. He's fine. He's going to live. First monk now going to be in queue for B. Wants to start getting some of the relics in as well. 3 knights in queue. His economy is working now compared to previously.
I mean, that's not difficult, though.
Yeah, I mean, not difficult at all compared to how it was before. Are able to take some horsies down there. Getting found there at the top side. A little notification coming on in there as a knight did find a scout. Other knight from B also finding the workers there from Beasty.
Yeah, Beasty doesn't have a very robust economy, and I'm just looking at the stats now at the bottom left. It's 11 kills versus 18, which is kind of a concern for Beasty when you consider that he's 1 TC against 2.
Yeah, he sent a lot of villagers forward, didn't he?
Yeah. And I think a lot of them got, like, cleaned up as they were building the towers. Not very many of them made it back home. Plus these raids. Beasty is going to have to start making something happen here. Otherwise, the eco differential is going to be just impossible to sustain.
I want to say he's going for a second TC. He did gather up some stone, 350.
Yeah.
Somebody gotta tell him that it's 300 now for TC. But it's difficult to get to the wood because he also wants to, of course, get the relic. So it's 200 wood now for Monastery as well. He will eventually get that second TC, at which point at least the scaling isn't gonna be getting dramatically worse for him. Yeah, this is an awkward spot at the moment, to say the least. Archer's getting found out here as well by a knight, as well as some spearmen. Archer's trying to focus down the spearmen, but yeah, B, he's got a good amount of army here. There's a lot of Radari out in the field. They're just not quite where they need to be yet. Crossbows also coming on in. The little Lennys are gonna get sniped out. At least the first one does go down.
And Crossbow's getting out of this one. Nice little screening by Beasty. He's trying to lure this army near the Golden Horn Tower. I don't think that B knows that the Golden Horn Tower is here, and now he's going to find out.
Alert! The Red Palace has been spotted. Yeah, B falls back for the time being. Does, of course, have the option of healing his units back up, but that's at least going to be one more Lord of Lancaster that is going to go down. Little raid coming in now as well by BC, but the White Tower is going to be there to defend as well, though that Radari is able to tank up quite a bunch of arrow shots. Will still get taken down eventually. Surely. Okay. Maybe not. I guess the +2 Pierce Armor is going to be good enough. Okay, yeah, B doesn't have any +1 Pierce damage upgrades. Still, that felt like that dude has an arrow collection at this point sticking out of him.
Yeah, B managed to complete the farm transition behind all of this, so now he's got a pretty robust food economy. Beasty is still reliant on the boar. He has a bit of a fight potentially breaking out over here. The monk is going to get protected by this one army here from B. And now, I feel like if you're Beasty, you're starting to get worried about those balance of power bars at the top of the screen. Both the eco and the army starting to swing in the favor of B.
Yeah.
Oh, although, I guess we should add, B's army is mostly spearmen knights, and on the other side there's quite a lot of Redari, so...
The army value is similar.
Yeah, the actual raw army value is a little similar, and do not forget, it's a reasonably open spawn for Lipani here, so that mobility you get from the Redari could be leveraged, and Beast needs to leverage that. He needs to start cutting into that eco lead that B has.
Sorry, gonna be on the run around, looking for a dive potentially into B's economy. And now B does get the message. He's also putting up a keep, a second keep, on the left-hand side of his base. Further securing the map. Also has a manor next to it as well. So he is actively being aware of where his villagers are, in combination with the manors. And once again, Radari raid.
B not pulling the villagers into the TC. They just stopped right there. A couple of villagers fall.
Appreciating the raid. They're like, go ahead, you deserve this one. And that one.
Beasty still running circles around the enemy base here. B starting to wall up on the right flank to limit the movement of the enemy cav. Does have a defensive castle now, however, and one thing we have to say, B's base is heavily fortified. He's got the 2 TCs, he's got a white tower, now a castle on the left flank. It's just so difficult to really attack him from any angle.
He's just massing more and more spearmen here at this point. So far that Beasty actually started to now mass up his own archers. Typically, I want to say it doesn't feel too great having to go into a mixed army composition as the Macedonians, because silver is just something that is hard to come by most of the time. So you kind of only want to spend it on one unit. He's already got some upgrades in on the archers. Not sure if he's ready yet to take these engagements. He's trying to kite forward, rather back to his base.
Looks like Beasty's going to stand and fight, however. He's going to fight into a lot of spearmen here, and the archers, I don't think they're focus firing the spearmen right now. A lot of the Rodari are just getting absolutely butchered by the spears. It's difficult to focus fire the spears when there is so many infantry on the field, but crossbows firing from the back line as well for B. He's cleaning up Beasty's army, and while all of this is happening, lumberjacks getting slaughtered by B. Momentum quickly swinging in the favor of the green player here.
Yeah, Beasty, not sure if he's noticed yet. Looks like he just pulled the villagers. No, he hasn't noticed yet. That is horrible for him.
I mean, even with the villagers surviving, his position would be difficult, but with so many villagers having been lost, it's just next to impossible.
Oh my god, that is just so horrible. I feel like the second he spots that, he's just gonna throw in the towel.
Oh, no. He's gonna notice soon, because the fight is happening right next to this wood line now, but it's gonna be too late. He's still trying to hold on to this position, managed to clean up the front line of B. But the damage that he took is just massive. His entire army got wiped. He doesn't have a lot of villagers to work with now. He has no farm transition behind all of this. So when the boar and the hunt and the berries run out, he's gonna have issues sustaining the food income he currently has. So many things are problematic right now for Beasty.
And next up, we're seeing a switch up into just mass Earl's Guards from B. Oh, no more kiting? Okay, never mind. Beasty is going to resume with the kiting. More reinforcements coming on in now. He's still just kind of relentless when it comes to sending more and more reinforcements forward, so... Yeah, Beasty had to also reinforce for quite a long time here. At the end of the day, once the smoke settles after this very long engagement, Beasty has managed to put up a second TC behind this, so he is on 2 TC now. Has a lot of stone in the bank as well, could be dropping his own keep. Rumfire upgrade also coming in now behind all of this. And villagers are moving out now. We are going to be getting a second keep in, or rather a first keep for him. Can't count the Golden Horn Tower as a keep. It's going to be in the middle of the map between the boar and the berries, so Beasty desperate for food at this point. And he doesn't have farms yet. There's no farm transition for him.
Yeah, that's the concern. The momentum is just so low. Granted, we've seen Beasty climb out of very deep holes in the past. That's one of his signature moves, per se. Oftentimes, you just feel like he's done, stays in the game, and then pulls off a miracle. But right now, he's got all the momentum. Almost a 50, actually more than a 50%. It's almost 100% advantage in the worker count. Nicely fortified base as well.
It's like this hole has no bottom. 41 villagers on food now for Beasty, yet still just 300 per minute. He's only just now got them to work again. But it's gonna be an explosive burst of food income here in a little bit, but it's gonna take more than that for him to be able to deal with 25 crossbows and 25 Earl's Guards. And now Hobblears on the way as well, right as another keep is getting put forward by B in order to secure one of the sacred sites.
Beasty's looking for something here. He's got a couple of Radari. If he wants to come back in this game, it has to start by hitting B's eco. He responds quickly, however, and there's just way too many crossbows here. I don't even know if these Radari will actually get out of the base alive. The right flank is walled off. There are castles, town centers all over. Crossbows are slowly focusing them down. They might force a little idle time, but Beasty cannot really afford to throw these units away. He just cannot really remake all these expensive units easily.
Yeah, definitely not easy to remake. He's just spamming out archers at the moment. Has a lot of silver left in the bank. And we do have the first trebuchet out now from B. He's starting to siege down base of Beasty. Yeah, Villager's gonna have to evacuate now as well. Jumping inside of the keep. Beasty's army is here, but he does have the +3 damage upgrade on the archers, so he should be able to actually deal with the Earl's Guards here for the time being. It doesn't feel nice, but it's doable. It's survivable.
Trebs are now coming in here for B. He's going to start sieging down that defensive position on the left side. Beasty he's got quite a few archers to work with. A couple of Radari as well. A lot of silver in the bank, but just very, very weak economy behind this. For now, he's just trying to stall, and B is just going to age up to Imperial, dropping the Berkshire Palace on the other large gold vein.
The raid coming in from Beasty, trying to find some value, but the Berkshire Palace... Oh, B. I know what this is. Berkshire Palace to further increase the damage on the Earl's Guard. He's Earl's Guard maxing.
Yeah, he's got 30 of them on the field. Bit of a raid coming in here for Beasty. Here's the thing, Beasty is slowly catching up on the economy, but just when he feels like, okay, maybe there's a shot, his opponent is going to be up in Imperial and he's nowhere close. Beasty's only got 10 villagers on food. Needs to make a farm transition, but in a position like this, it's nearly impossible.
Imperial Age has now been reached. The Berkshire Palace has been revealed. Snipe comes in on the Trebuchet, does manage to get it. But are you really in a much better spot now that you've taken it down? I'm not sure about that. More upgrades going to be coming in now. We're seeing +3 pierce damage and +3 pierce armor coming in for B. Doesn't have the elite Earl's Guard upgrade quite yet, but has enough to break past this keep easily with just a tremendous mass on the units out on the field at the moment for him. Beasty investing into his own trebuchet just doesn't feel like he has any grounds to siege from at the moment.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's committing to this fight over here. Trying to keep that keep alive, but that's impossible, and all the villagers that he has might just end up falling here. The Berkshire Palace is within range. The Trebs are firing at the castle. I think Beasty might have managed to snipe that trebuchet. Indeed, he did. So the castle is alive for the time being. He sent in a couple of cavalry units to snipe the Treb. B wasn't able to respond. Beasty lives to see another day, but that day does not look very bright right now.
Yeah. The food income is all but gone. We got some Hobbler raids now onto the berries as well. No farms at all yet for Beastie. I think the first ones only just now came in. It's just that this is not the best spot right now to be doing a farm transition at all. It really feels absolutely devastating here at the moment for Beastie. We're now seeing culverins coming in for B.
Yeah, it's one of those... There is never a good time to make a farm transition, but when you're under attack like this, it's just nearly impossible. Beastie would need a solid 5 to 10 minutes of gameplay time just to stabilize his economy, and he's not looking to give him that time.
Yeah, not at all. We'll check out the Earl's Guards. Have we gotten an elite in yet? I don't think I've seen a lead on the Earl's Guards come in yet. But they do have a nice little +3 damage. +4 damage, actually. I think there was another keep that has come up. So +4 damage at the moment on those Earl's Guards. With one more being able to be unlocked from Blacksmith, and actually some more from additional even, if push comes to shove.
He's got 0 villagers on food. It feels like he's trying to buy time, but while doing so, he's just falling behind more and more. He's trying to take out the Berkshire Pass, might be able to do so. Bit of a flank coming in here from the Hobbelars, though. First trap goes down, so does the second. And now B is just done playing around. He's going to take out Beastie's third trap. Stands and fights, and I think this has to be it for Beastie here. It's gonna be B moving on to match point, because Beastie can no longer hold this swarm. Match point B, as we will head to game number 4.
Indeed, match point is coming up, and yeah, Beasty, his number one seed in the balance here at the moment. B looking very strong here. Total resource gather in that game. Clear lead by the House of Lancaster. It's a pretty interesting balance here between, okay, can you 2TC against this Civ? Can you 2TC against that Civ? We definitely saw it not being the case up against the Malians, but against the Macedonians here, the way B played this, with the continuous villager pull time and time again, to make sure that that outpost does not go up, that was beautiful. Beasty once again, with 6 villagers on the outpost at B, he just pulls every single villager that he can. Just take down the archers with the short bows. It doesn't matter as long as the outpost does not go up. What a wild game.
I mean, the start for this game was absolutely crazy. It felt like chaos for B for a long, long time, but he's known to be the Chaos Lord. So that's the dangerous thing about B. He does not mind if games are messy. He does not mind if he needs to use his own villagers to fight for a solid 5 to 10 minutes. Because when it was all said and done, he was able to stall Beasty's aggression out and then just leverage the 2 TCs to pull ahead. Crazy game, though. Yeah. And we're not done yet. It's going to be match point for B, and that match point is going to be played on Coastal Cliffs. Golden Horde was the choice that Beasty had alongside Macedonians for Lipany. This time around, he went Ayyubids and Golden Horde, and B is going to let him play Golden Horde here against the Japanese from B.
This is such a cursed matchup. We've seen this matchup quite a bunch of times during the Homestead Cup. I think Japan hasn't won it a single time. Every time we've seen Japan try and go for a fast castle age in that matchup, and the Golden Horde just every time right there with a large army just to dive past the outposts, and it's just so tough. Like Golden Horde, I feel like they definitely have the number of most of these fast castle, like naked fast castle civilizations, where it just feels like even if you go for like double outposts, you try and contain the greed, you need units, you need military units. You cannot just play naked fast castle up against the Golden Horde.
Yeah, that's the feeling that you're getting, and in a way, when you look at how Japanese is played in the competitive scene for a long time, it's a bit of a one-trick pony, and I want to be cautious with that statement, because obviously there are other layers to this, but 9 out of 10 games when you look at Japanese in the competitive scene, you're looking at a fast castle into mounted samurai style gameplay. It's quite predictable, and in a way, it can be counterpicked very nicely. So, Beasty potentially has a very good idea of what's going to come at him. He takes away Ruse from his opponent. We do have 5 minutes until the game starts, so I think this might be a good time for us to talk about how things unfolded last week and the one before in Group B.
Taking a look at the matches here from Group B. So far, Lucifron getting a good... Both Beasty, B, and Lucifron, they're all at the very top here, getting most of the wins in. We also are updating. There we go. Now we also see the games here that are currently going on between both Beasty and B. Between our top 4 contestants, looks like, if I'm reading this correctly, wait, did Beasty lose or... Okay, Beasty lost versus Lucifron 3-0. So very, very strong result there from Lucifron. Wait, am I reading those correctly? Did Lucifron lose 3-1 versus Numidan?
Indeed, that is correct. Numidan beat Lucifron 3-1. And it's a costly loss for Lucifron, because that could easily cost him the top of the top spot in his group.
I genuinely just got confused with myself whether I'm like reading this correctly. Okay, B losing against MSN, I did witness that. That was amazing. But I did not witness the Lucifron versus Numidan set. That's kind of crazy. Testament to Numidan, even though he did lose 3-0 against Louis today, that is quite an achievement for him.
And right now we have Beasty, Lucifrom, Papipaw, and B in the top 4. The order of those players is not yet set, but we know for sure that these are the 4 players qualifying into the playoffs from their respective group. It's just a matter of who gets to have the best spots in the playoffs, who is going to get not just 1, but 2 bye rounds at the beginning of the playoffs.
Yeah, and that is very big. Just getting that extra time in order to be able to analyze your opponents, because now you know who can be a serious threat. Now you know, like, the player count, it's not like top 16 anymore. You're going to be getting down to the top 8. And just having the ability there to really take a look at the strategies that your opponents employ there just gives you a big tactical lead there as well, because you're not revealing anything else now. You're not playing until like later on into the tournament, so it's just a very nice tactical lead there to have and be able to like hide information on your side while gaining information on the other.
It's also the fact that any series could be the final one that you play. Even if you're the player favored against the other, you never know what's going to happen. You might just have a bad day, one bad fight. Those things happen, and if you have to start from a quarterfinals level, there's a chance you get knocked out right there. If you win your group, you go all the way into the semifinals, so you're guaranteed a top 4 spot. That's kind of the reward for players performing well in the group stage.
Of course, always that risk with potentially losing a set means that you're gonna be out, and not a risk that you want to take if you can avoid it. So getting those buys definitely something that these players are looking forward to. Beasty gonna be no exception here. Looking at the rest of the draft that Beasty has going for himself, so KT still on the menu. We did see KT earlier. There's Dry Arabia left. I'm not sure if we're gonna see it there, but could be. More likely that'll be Sengoku or Ayubits. And B on his side, still having the Byzantines and Rus, as well as the Tughlaq dynasty. Yeah, Rus and Byzantines, pretty good picks there on Dry Arabia as well.
You've suspiciously left out the Tughlaq dynasty, though.
I did mention. Yeah, I
just meant as an option to pick. Is that related to the fact that they are winless in the tournament?
Now, I'm gonna say in team games, Tughlaq really good, really good. Elephants kind of broken in team games. In 1v1s, also still really good. It's just more difficult to get to them. On hybrid maps, Tughlaq really good. Like hybrid maps, you do not want to play against the Tughlaq. Even though they did nerf the fishing a little bit from them, Tughlaq is still very strong there. But I just don't really see them over the Byzantines or the Rus on Dry Arabia. I think both of those civilizations are just a much better fit. Though you could think about, okay, my opponent has like a cavalry countering civilization, so maybe there's an option there. But yeah, I think it's going to be either Rus or Byzantines there to be realistic. But it is time, Lidicor, for us to jump into our game number 4. Match point here for B, who's spawning in as the Japanese in the color green on Coastal Cliffs. Starting off here immediately with the Dark Age Barracks. He's up against Beasty, playing in the color yellow as the Golden Horde. Already sent a villager out far side in order to get that Uvu out. And yeah, it looks like there's gonna be a very early aggression timing here from B up against Beasty. So he's gonna have to move out quickly if he wants to secure his gold in time. Oh, look at that, Lidicor.
Ooh.
The wall on the side, he's whamming right now.
That's a big investment in Dark Age. People often forget, hey, it's just a little bit of a wall, but in Dark Age, every bit of resource matters. He knows fully well that there's going to be aggression coming his way. He did scout the units coming across. It looks like B is heading down in the middle aisle, so this wall might finish before B arrives. It's going to be a little close if B pivots to the right quickly. And it looks like he will. He's just now changing the direction of those little green dots. Oh, he's going to wall in both sides of the Ovu. Okay.
He really wants to keep that one safe. Now, he has spotted out the gold. So he knows now where the stone is. But yeah, he's going to see these wall segments now any second now.
Oh, this villager might be caught off guard over here. But it's going to be a complete wall. And this is the big thing. This is the shorter wall that you have to make. Is that open? Is that open?
He can destroy the segment. He can destroy the segment and block Beastie Scout from ever returning with the sheep. Has he? Can we look at Beastie's point of view? Has he just? Oh, it's not just a segment. It's a segment and a piece, not just a side. Okay.
Push, squeeze. There we go.
Oh, now he can lock in the spearman there potentially.
Oh, this is becoming very, very costly for Beastie because he's building a lot of walls now.
He is, yeah. It is a pretty big investment. I wonder if he just finished the wall segment there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the shorter segment, so the fact that B went in that direction actually helped Beastie, because finishing the wall in the north would have taken more time.
Yeah. And yeah, looks like Beastie is indeed gonna be going for the finish there on the wall segment there. Oh, still hit it once. Come on, he can't.
Love the body block. One of the spearmen is on stand ground, just physically blocking that entrance. Granted, as long as they're doing that, they're not torching the Ovu, so there is that.
You gonna pay attention to that? Yes, once again. But yeah, you're right, he's not torching down the Ovu, and the thing is, the Ovu generates more resources per minute than a single villager ever will. So this is, in theory, worthwhile for Beastie as long as he doesn't lose that villager. Behind this, B also bringing back more sheep. It's kind of crazy how 2 sheep were killed inside of Beastie's base, but B still has more sheep found. I'm not sure if that actually... I don't think Beastie killing those sheep took them away from the metric there, from the sheep bar. It's not as smart as our cow sheep bar.
Yeah, that's 13. We'll never know.
I don't think those count towards.
Spearmen breaking their way through those walls. And again, as long as they're doing that, they're not torching down the Ovu, so there is that for Beastie. Khan and Torkud on the way, but quite a few spearmen out already for B, so he could just pull those back for defense, or he could also wall up like he's doing right now. It's one of the things that you can do on this map. You usually have your wood line spawning close to you, and because it's a kind of tightly confined map, usually you have the chance to wall off at least one flank.
Yeah. For a star house, now coming in for B. Khan and Torguds on its way for Beastie are going to be finishing up soon as well. Looks like the Uwu is finally starting to go down here now. So Beastie eventually is going to have to reinvest into that one. He already has a lot of wood though, so it's not going to be the end of the world for him to reinvest into that one. Looks like one of the villagers is already moving out towards the next stone vein for Beastie. So it's already going to be putting up the Uvu over there. One that he gets with the feudal age. We can just go back later down the line to add in the one on the right-hand side again. Already has the Batugan as well as 2 Torguds in queue. So the Golden Tent is going to be busy for a while anyways.
Yep, first Torgud on the way, Batugan now out. Beastie also moved all the way to the far left with his Ovu, because the one on this stone mine got taken out. Love the little detail that B left the spearman here. Just to make sure that this villager cannot do anything, just like blocking that position. The spearman is on stand ground, so it's not going to get aggroed by the villager. It's just physically blocking the placement of the building itself. As I'm saying that, he is going to recognize this and jump the villager.
He does see this as well. Is going to be sending the villager out again. towards the TC. Is Beasty sending like a second villager at the same point in time? No, he's got an archer there now.
Yeah, Torgood looping around. Make that the con.
It looks like
Tower is coming in here for B.
Yeah, and it looks like Fast Castle is still gonna be the name of the game here for B. But this is a much better scenario for him than in other games. He delayed Beasty by a good bit. Is he? Okay, there's no way he gets that villager. It was close, though. Almost gets a villager kill in. And Beasty, with the heavy delay, I feel like he's not going to be in time, especially with those little walls on the side there, to punish B from getting that Fast Castle agent.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was a big investment for Beasty to get all those walls going. So as much as B invested the resources to make the racks, make the spearmen, Beasty had to pay a lot of resources for those walls, had to rebuild the Ovu. And as you said, when it's all said and done, Beasty's just now starting to get army rolling. And on the other side, the floating gate is already being built. Will this be spotted by Beasty in time? He's going to bump into walls on the right side. He is going to start pushing that angle, and that's probably a good scenario for B because the landmark is offset to the other side.
Yeah.
There's a villager coming across, though. Are we going to see a tower here?
It would be a fortified outpost, so it's a little bit expensive. And B is also rushing an outpost here on the side. And yeah, there it is. Actually, a fortified outpost is going to be coming up.
Wow. Deja vu from the previous game to some extent.
Yeah. He is going to be blocking the wood with that, at least in part. But wait, is he actually going for the outpost? Yeah, he is going to be going for it. Just needs a little bit more space now that the outpost is also coming in for B on his side. Scout did find the Uwu there on the left-hand side. And the floating gate has now been completed. Beneman already out on the field. Now soon to be accompanied by some mounted samurai. But B has been able to get the castle age up in. Hasn't really been hit hard in the meantime here by Beasty. No immediate all-in sight. Looks like the fortified outpost is going to finish on up, but actually, yeah, it does finish on up. No, wait, is it? It's not finish on up? It has no progress bar on it. The villager just got taken down, didn't he? Yeah, he got taken down.
Yeah, he got taken out.
This is an ongoing bug with the progress bar not being visible, so I assumed that it got put up, but yeah, Beasty.
Yeah, you can actually see the little gold outline. That's how you know that the building is not complete.
Yeah. There it is. Another villager is being sent forward now. You finish that outpost on up there.
Yeah, Beasty also went for the siege engineering upgrade. Does intercept the first Uma Bannerman that's running across the map. A couple of mounted samurai also coming out. They did take a bit of a beating. Reflective armor is still recharging.
Shinto priest out though for B, so he always has the option of healing those mounted samurai back up as long as he's able to keep them alive. There's the villager now. This time, Beasty's gonna have to pay a lot of attention to that one. Doesn't want to let it go down again.
Yeah, he's gonna have to find that magic angle. He's going to finish the landmark or the tower in just a moment. He's trying to posture in front of the enemy base, confine B in there, but B was able to slip out to the left side. Start collecting relics. It's up to 5 mounted samurai. Slowly chasing down the Torgood. Getting his own towers fortified as well.
And mounted samurai gonna have to be careful. Healing is of course always an option, as we do already see that one Shinto priest healing up the mounted samurai there. Next to B's TC, and now the first ram is coming in.
Yeah, this is it's an interesting position because B is very reliant on the farms near the Skura storehouse. So that's his primary source of food. If that gets pushed, things could get chaotic. He's up to 7 mounted samurai. He's got the town center, he's got defensive towers nearby. It's gonna be difficult for Beasty to push this, especially because Beasty's force is very, very light. It's mostly spearmen and archers. They only have tier 1 of the ranged defense upgrade.
Ram is moving around the top side now. Do we see the mounted samurai rotating towards it? The outpost from Beasty already has the arrows that's upgrade on as well, so it's not like the spearmen can realistically move on out against the ram that are currently garrisoned inside of the outpost there. Villagers jumping inside of the TC. Meanwhile, the mounted samurai actually leaving their base. And pierce damage level 1 is going to be coming in now for B. He knows that if it comes to a dive, he's going to need every little bit of bonus damage that he can get. Oh, Shinto priests need to be very careful though. Jumping inside of the Kura storehouse. Looks like the ram is going to end up taking down the outpost there, though it might actually fall to the this TC arrow fire. Little repair coming in, but not going to be enough, not going to be in time.
The tower's going to go down. A lot of villagers idle on the food, and look at B's food income. That's what I was trying to highlight previously. He's got no villagers on food, so no more mounted samurais in queue. Mounted samurai counterattack is coming in, though, and Beasty might have to make a run for it with the villagers. They're heading down south. There is a decent contingent of spearmen to hold them off for the time being, however. He's got to be careful over here. Takes a big beating from the spearman. I don't know if he should be taking this fight over here. Deflective armor is gone, the bannerman is taking a beating, and multiple mounted samurai fell.
Yeah, good chunk did get taken down there. At least 2 did go down, make that the 3rd one. Springle emplacement is coming in now inside of B's base, but the army from Beasty is just continuously diving deeper and deeper. Now the gold has mostly been exhausted, but it was used by B in order to buy food.
It's such a chaotic game, both players having to flee with their villagers, but when it's all said and done, Beasty has managed to stall out the food income from B. Those farms are mostly idled out. And the gold mine is as well. B pulling the villagers to take out that fortified outpost. Beasty's trying to pivot back to that side. Single villager being pulled for the repairs. This could be disastrous for B if he gets surrounded here. And here come the Torgud. I don't know about
Mounted
this
samurai,
if you're
though?
B.
It looks like there might be enough mounted samurai here. There aren't that many spearmen. Most of BC's spearmen are inside of his own base. Villagers pulling the ships as well. BC's entire army is going to get cleaned up here.
B is going to lose quite a few villagers, though. Or is he? It's only a handful of villagers that fell. 6 villager kills in this entire game for Beasty, and you're right. If his army gets cleaned up and he only kills 6 villagers, you gotta say that this is a win for B.
Most definitely, and now with this, B has suddenly gained some map control again, with which he can potentially start bringing in some relics, and that's a good amount of stone as well, so a couple of daimyo upgrades are soon to be on the table there as well, and getting that early rocket, definitely not something that you're gonna be inclined against. Outpost though, not sure if this one's gonna be able to hold against the army from Beasty. Fight is being taken though.
These are still feudal age spears, let's not forget about that. Beasty is still just now aging up. Does take a decent fight though, and that's a lot of mounted samurai being thrown away against the spearmen.
Yeah, but he knows that he desperately needs this gold access. So he's committing to it. He did manage to keep a couple of the knights alive. 3 Shinto priests there are also going to be able to heal the knights back up, most importantly, of course. Muscovy Yasak is coming in behind this for BC, and BC is loading a lot of resources. So could be queuing up a lot of crossbows the second he gets the age up in, alongside some more spearmen. He does have a 5 villager lead at the moment. But B has weathered the hardest part of the storm when playing this matchup, which is, of course, getting to Castle Age and not dying 2 minutes later.
It's going to start becoming a game that progressively slows down from here on out, I feel. Because this is usually how this map plays out. Very intense at the beginning, but once the trenches are dug, once the walls are up, things actually slow down quite a bit. And you can see for both players, those walls are being built up as we speak. Quick look at the relics, though, and this is a huge thing here. B is now bringing in a bunch of relics. He gets a bit of a breathing room, and he's going to turn that into 4 relics under his control.
Yeah, relics, definitely the most important thing here now. Both players are getting to that, or rather have gotten to that castle age. Both mounted samurais are going to get picked off here now. We're also getting to the point now where B needs to start investing into some Yumi archers. We do see the veterancy on the Yumi archers coming in before even the first one has been produced. Can we also take a quick look at the Daimyo? Which one that is for B? I think it's Daimyo level 2. Yeah, Daimyo level 2 has just been completed. With the amount of stone earlier, I wouldn't even have been surprised if it was Daimyo level 3. But yeah, Daimyo level 2 already has a lot of bonus food gather speed on those farmers.
And that's going to become exponentially more important as we go, because this map is starting to run low on food. In fact, if you take a look, there are 2 deer packs still available on B's side. Beasty does have 1 deer pack that's walled in, and I think that's like semi-depleted. As I'm saying that, that's basically a fully depleted deer pack. Beasty doesn't really have a lot of available food left to work with.
Yeah, it's not a ton, but the Golden Horde, of course, they do have the ability to make the stockyards, which are a great food source. He has put up a second outpost in the front of his base. Fortifications, actually a third one on the Gold Vein. Fortifications are coming in behind this as well. So with triple outposts, yeah. Beasty realized that this is not going down anytime soon.
Good luck with that. Fortified outpost with Sprangles. That's not going to happen. This is going to happen, though. Nice little raid here by Beasty. Gets a couple of villagers with the Torgood.
For sure, inside the TC from B, though, means that he is slowly going to be catching up in the village apartment. Actually, 5 relics on his side as soon as he gets the next monastery up. And that is big. That is big, because when you look at the gold, it's all forward here. So if B doesn't have map control, which at the moment he definitely doesn't, he's going to have to get gold somehow.
Yeah, and if you look at this map in general, if this map goes to an hour-long game or so, it runs out of resources, like fully every single bit of resource depleted. It rarely happens, but it's a consideration. As the game progresses, having that passive resource trickle inside your base is extremely important on a map like this, considerably more important than it is on some of the other maps that we have in the map.
Getting another ram in now. Beasty, definitely intent on aggressing upon this position at the front line. He does have 4 men-at-arms, and with the Muscovy Yasak, that is a lot of Pierce armor on them. They're not going to be getting taken down by the Yumi archers. Luckily, there's still 11, now 12 mounted samurai that can finish the job.
Yeah, B's fortified on the left side. I'm kind of worried about his right side being open over here. I feel like he could just make his position so much more comfortable by dropping a wall. Beasty is digging in, however. He's getting walls across the map. He's going to start fortifying his position and slowing things down. He's going to have to start transitioning his farming eco or food eco as well.
Oh, a little raid, but the entire army from Beasty is going to be here to defend. No mounted samurai gets picked off this time around. And B still just pumping out more and more of these mounted samurai. Very expensive unit. Definitely worth its value.
Yeah, Beasty moved out to the gold mines to the front. Now he's fully dependent on them, and that's a massive advantage here for B. Anytime he can hit these gold mines, he's gonna cut Beasty off from basically all available gold. And in the meantime, it looks like B is also going to secure up the sacred sites. He's going to grab this one, and there is one to the north that should be available for him as well.
Oh, B's getting led towards the rest of Beasty's army, but does pay attention. -1, -2. Yikes. Just keep him alive barely.
Overstayed his welcome a little.
Beasty is being given a lot of time here to bolster the men-at-arms count, and the more men-at-arms he has, the harder it's going to be for B to fight against him with just the Yumi archers. Might need to start trickling in some Onimusha as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you have a bunch of Yumi archers against a men-at-arms spearman front line. Plus, you have a bunch of crossbows on the back line. I feel like this is not a fight that you can take. The mounted samurai would just get picked apart by the spears and the crossbows before you can actually snipe them with the Yumi.
Yeah. Once again, a ton of Springled placements coming in here for B. Really knows how to reinforce these gold deposits. There's no fortune yet though, so the villager's gonna have to drop one soon, else they're gonna be in for a long walk home. It looks like this is gonna be the position now where B is gonna want to take a fight. Army value, 2,000 lead almost for B alongside all of these outpost emplacements. So the next fight is definitely going to be hard fought, though Beasty does have the countering army composition. So should be in a good spot to take this fight. The fight is going to be taken. B is hiding back towards the outpost now with the Yumi archers. Debris are going to be getting sacrificed here.
Tower is going up here for Beast. He's got a lot of spearmen on the front line, crossbows firing from the back line as well, but that's a lot of mounted samurai. Tower does complete. Yumi diving deep to focus down the crossbows. Looks like Beasty's front line is slowly collapsing on the left. Still 18 mounted samurai to go, and Beasty's army is evaporating. This defensive tower is trying to help out a tiny bit, but Beasty is getting cleaned up over here. He's going to have to pull his forces back.
Managed to secure the crossbows. Doesn't lose too many of those, but traded out. I'm not going to say an adjective with that. I'm not going to give it an attribute, whether it was good or bad, the trade there that happened. But he traded out against the with the spears. But it's not looking that good. The Yumi archers now diving deeper, taking down a lot of the crossbows, a lot of the spearmen reinforcements that are coming on in. BC's food income is starting to look better and better. He's getting to the point in the game where the Golden Horde can really start just pumping out tons of units, but he's out of gold. He doesn't have the means of getting any gold out right now as... Well, that's his gold vein right there. That's been completely surrounded now by those mounted samurai, but the Yumi archer count is starting to fall. Villagers might need to get pulled away here now. Okay, never mind. They all just die instantly.
The lack of gold is haunting Beasty right now. He's got the food income set up now, but that is where the lack of passive gold income comes into play. The fact that B has 5 relics against none is a huge factor here, especially considering that B also has an extra sacred site for the passive gold trickle. And B knows that this is a game of gold. He's going to creep up with 2 towers, probably planning to drop spring gold fortifications on it as well. He's just going to have to try and challenge this one, but I don't know if he can stand and fight.
I'm not sure if that's the case for B, actually. Whether he's got enough units. His archer count did get reduced severely.
True.
And we're at the point where there's enough crossbows that B can fight the archers with the crossbows.
Yeah, you're right. Most of the archers are actually gone for B. 1 tower went up. Villagers are being pulled to repair it. Trying to get the spring golden placement going. Second wave comes in.
Oh, no front line here, though.
No front line indeed. And the mounted samurai get a beautiful charge in here. A lot of the crossbows were heavily damaged from previous fights, and they just evaporate in an instant.
And just feels so difficult now for Beasty to remass the crossbow numbers. We see 26 spearmen in queue for Beasty now. As he realized, okay, I need frontline, anything. Just give me anything now in this game. Could also start adding in some horsemen now as well, but he is actually able to push back against Beasty's army, B's army for the time being. The archers focusing down against the crossbows. And only men-at-arms are not going to be able to deal with the mounted samurai there at the front line.
It's also that we have multiple towers here for B now. We got 2 on the flanks, spring golden placements available on both, and now they're contributing to this fight quite a bit. Next wave coming in here for B, and Beasty's position is just not something that he can hold. 3rd tower is going to complete, and remember, Beasty has no gold access. He cannot pop out more premium units at this space. He's forced to go for spears and archers. It's looking grim right now for Beasty, and in this match point position, B might be very, very close to securing the series and putting himself into a really good position within his group.
Yeah, not just that. I mean, look at this. This is just a very, very strong food economy here for Beasty. But he just secured so much gold with all of these outposts at the front line. Beasty is in a very strong position to just remass units time and time and time again. It's just difficult for him to deal with the Yumi archers. If it was like horsemen and spearmen as an army composition, maybe, but he's been just making a ton of men-at-arms and crossbows here as well. Now, the crossbows are definitely also something that is necessary, but it just drained his gold so quickly. Actually have a second TC now from Beasty as well.
Yeah, he's gonna try to scale his economy, but while this is all happening, B is now in control of both sacred sites, starts the timer, 10 minutes ticking away. It's not just the lack of gold now for Beasty. He's gonna have to eventually decap one of those sacred sites. He is just so limited on map control, but this is a nice little counterattack here. Let's have a sizable force. There's also a fortified outpost here helping out. That's a lot of spears, so if you're B, you gotta be careful not to throw away a lot of your mounted samurai here. That's a lot of spears and crossbows.
A lot of Courage as well. So the aura isn't gonna disappear anytime soon. But as quickly as the army got massed up here for Beasty, as quickly does it fall again. As the army from B, 22 of these mounted samurai is just too strong to hold against. The crossbow number, once again, is getting reduced quite quickly, quite drastically so as well. And Beasty, he just cannot hold against this mass from B.
It's a premium army composition for B in terms of the mounted samurai supported by the Yumi, and on the other side there's just no premium units for Beasty. It's Karash, spearmen, crossbows. They do get picked apart, and with that B is securing game number 3, and with that the whole series as well. It's a 3-1 finish to one of the most iconic and traditional series in competitive AoE 4. This time around, B looking strong, taking out Beasty 3-1 and positioning himself towards the top of his own group. We will, in just a moment, have a look at the groups to see what this actually means for the standings within Group B.
Group B is going to be getting that live update now. And Beasty, he was the leading player in his group before the set. Now with a 3-1 victory for B, that could have changed. Taking a quick look at the replay here as we see this first initial pretty big fight after B was able to get the castle age in after one that happened inside of his base. The spearmen and the rest of the army from Beasty, it got separated. And B, he was struggling for gold a little bit, but being able to secure this gold here was a pretty big key for him, being able to just continuously pump out those mounted samurai. And they did a great job here all throughout the castle age as well, alongside those Yumi archers, just being able to counter out the entire army composition of Beasty so well. And even at this point, when there was just this big flood of spearmen at the front line fighting off against the mounted samurai, even numbers are just not enough for spearmen to counter knights, especially not these ones.
But that's not the end of the story for today, folks. We have one more series left to look at, and that is going to be Marine Lord versus Wham. But here is the updated stat line for Group B. B, with this victory, moves on to the second spot. Lucifron has already played all 7 of his sets, so did B. So the top 2 are... Actually...
Yeah,
yes, the top 2 are set now. Or no, it's not. We're being baited by the mathematics once again. If Puppy Paw wins against MSN...
He was MSN, doesn't he? Yeah.
Then he can still move to the top of the group. The thing I wanted to highlight, though, and that's actually something I did math on while the highlights were rolling. So B ends up with a +6 game differential. Lucifron is on a +7. So the reason why Lucifron is going to be ahead of B is because B dropped the game here against Beasty. B beat Lucifron in head-to-head, which actually means that if B won 3-0 here, he would have been ahead of Lucifron. So if nothing else, Beasty taking away a game from B means that B is going to be ranked behind Lucifron in the group standings.